Welcome back, folks. This is Freeman Owen. I'm here with Coach Pete. We're talking about the 401k Survivor Series. I'd like for you to get this series, how we can, and share with you how we can help you avoid costly mistakes in getting your distribution. Some of the 401k advantages, the rollovers and distribution that can be offered to you. And again, always putting a lot of emphasis on avoiding costly mistakes.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about landmines.
All right. Now, when you sign up for your 401k, and you probably forgot when you did sign up, but you assign beneficiaries. That's people who will inherit the money if you're not here anymore. And many of you have done that a long time ago, and maybe you've changed your living situation. Maybe you have a different spouse now. Maybe you don't like a child or something like that. But you want to review your beneficiaries every 5 years at the maximum. I say every year to make sure they're fine, because if you've got married again to a different person, but your old wife is still the beneficiary, using guys because we're guys right here.
Right.
Same thing if your husband, that kind of thing. But you pass away, the money goes to whoever you assign beneficiary-wise, not who you're currently married to.
Exactly.
Very, very important to make sure you review those every year, because that's a big landmine.
All right, and that's what we do every year to review these beneficiaries. As you mentioned, Coach, we have blended families today. Okay, second, third marriages. All righty. And what is interesting, too, is that if you do not designate beneficiaries. Oh, and something else too, folks.
Designate a survivor.
A survivor. There's a difference between spousal inheritance versus non-spouse.
Big difference.
Big difference. Pension Act 2006 says that non-spouses now can receive the proceeds from qualified monies over the life expectancy of that person. However, in the event that the decedent passes, the non-spouse has to receive those benefits within 12 months. If you go into the 13th month, folks, that's a 50% penalty.
Yeah, that's a big penalty.
That's a big penalty.
Giant penalty.
Beneficiary designation is so, so important. And it's a lot you need to know. And that's why each year we sit down, we have an annual review, and we discuss beneficiaries when it comes to your qualified monies to avoid costly mistakes. Spousal, when you mentioned blended families, all right. I'm not a referee. Okay.
I was once.
Okay.
No matter what call you made, half the people were mad at you.
Exactly.
So it really wasn't that much fun.
So we have to discuss how proceeds go to each of, or how the legacy will be passed on with the blended family. And I've seen a little disturbance there, you know, well, my son gets this, or my daughter gets that. Well, what about my child, my grandchild? So folks, what we'll do is we'll talk about beneficiaries on an annual basis to make sure, because things do change. I've seen, a good example is, well, we have, let's say for a person who had a blended family, this is stepping a little bit into real estate, a little bit, because there was a product in which there was, the beneficiary was designated for the first wife. And also the real estate was designated to the first wife. All that was in the package. Married a second time. Well, the kids from the second marriage did not receive those proceeds when the spouse passed from the first marriage. And so there was a lot of confusion there. And so therefore, we can avoid that type of confusion when it comes to rollovers and distribution of your qualified plans. The reason I mentioned that real estate, it was an indirect rollover.
Right.
You know, they have different types of things that are available there other than the traditional financial products. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so,
let me tell you another mistake, a big mistake, a big landmine that I see is they make it so easy for you to borrow from your 401k.
Yeah.
All right, because you say, well, you really don't need something. There's wants and needs, but
Yeah.
you want something. You want a new car. Well, I can borrow money out of my 401k. Well, you
Yeah.
borrow $30,000 out of your 401k.
All right.
And then 2 weeks later, your boss tells you you're fired.
Right.
That happens too, right?
Yeah.
And so immediately you have to pay that $30,000 back, or that money is taxable.
Exactly.
People don't realize that, because if you're not working for the company anymore, because when you get a loan, they take the money out of your paycheck to pay the loan back.
Yeah.
If you're not getting a paycheck, you can't pay the loan back.
Yes.
You have to write a check to pay it back, or that's fully taxable. Freeman, that could be a big
That's
penalty right
a
there.
big penalty.
Be careful borrowing against your 401k.
Exactly. And you have to think about how important it is, and make it a priority, folks. Just set aside these funds so that you could take advantage of the salary reduction. The access, of course, is liquidity in some areas of parts of the 401k, but it's for a long-term. It's a long-term program for your retirement, because I mentioned earlier, 7.5% of the companies in the United States offer a pension now, compared to 1980 when 89% of them.
So if you're 59 and a half or over, and you only have a few choices in your 401k, which most people only have between 10 and 30 choices, you could get like up to 5,000 different choices by rolling that money, qualified rollover, transfer into your own IRA. And not only can you have more choices, but you can also get an income plan, a pension, buy your own pension with the 401k lump sum you put aside. So that's a big landmine, not exploring the opportunities to have income that's lifetime with your 401k money.
And you can do it safely.
Yep.
That IRA, once you have control, folks, you can have your IRA continue to grow. And of course, it already has tax deferral.
Correct.
All right. But you have more control. And you can have your IRA grow without even a contribution.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, you should contact our office, and so we can talk about this 401k Survivor Series.
If they're just watching this one segment, there's a way to get the whole series. Just call the number you see on the screen. But more importantly, get an appointment, no cost appointment with Freeman and his team today. All you have to do is call the number you see on the screen.
Exactly.
Freeman, I really appreciate your time today.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. All right. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us.